I'm a proud member of the Quinault Indian Nation in Washington. I am a second-generation survivor of prior ICWA adoption. I'm here in full support of the regulation that we're now talking about, finally adding some teeth to some things that are needed to protect our children. My mother was part of the SCOOP era that the BIA at that time funded and co-sponsored, in my opinion. She was taken physically from my grandmother off of our reservation. She was adopted quickly, within a matter of days, to a family here in Oregon, a non-native family, where ICWA obviously was not in place to protect her. She was abused and sexually and physically and emotionally in that home by these non-native people who didn't understand her or her culture or her pain from being stolen from our family in Tohola. When she became pregnant with me, this wonderful white family who always wanted her to feel grateful that they had saved her life, sent her away to a Catholic boarding school for unwed mothers, because we still had them in those days, which had become a clearinghouse for more of our children. And she was forced to give me up for adoption. She was not allowed to hold me or to see me. My mother left that place a really broken young girl, and she lived the rest of her life on the streets of Portland and Seattle. I reunited with my mother after I was an adult and had a daughter of my own. And my mother passed away 2 years ago when the coroner called and asked me to come and identify her body. On her death certificate, it stated that she died of an accidental drug overdose. My mother died of cultural genocide that was forced upon her by the state, by the government, and by an adoption agency which sells our children. I, too, was adopted very quickly into a non-native home. There was no ICWA to protect me. I, too, was physically and emotionally abused in this home by these people who wanted me to be grateful that they saved this poor Indian girl. I stand before you today also now as a woman who is going through in Region 2 in Washington state licensing process to become a foster parent as a single woman, Native woman. I work for the Swinomish tribe and not in child welfare, but this is obviously an issue that's, very close to my heart. And the things that I have found going through this process are disturbing. I co-sponsored an ICWA training where they used a video that I have produced about my story, and it was full of non-native foster parents who said appalling things to us about, oh, well, I came today because I'm really confused. My caseworker in Region 2 said that ICWA is just a piece of paper, that I don't have to worry about those kinds of things, and I'm really confused, and I wanted to come here today to find out what the truth is. And this was less than 2 months ago. And so enforcement of ICWA and providing that for our states and for our region, it is so important to be able to have that standardized enforcement, because the things that I am seeing from going through this process with the state, it is not being complied with or applied when it comes to our children. And just real quick, another woman responded asking a question about an Indian placement, and she said, I've You know, I just have some questions about that. And I asked her, are you a tribal placement home? Complete silence. And another woman responded and said, no, but I am, and I've been licensed for 6 years, and I've never been given a tribal placement. And so we need these, and I appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time.